welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do load a new video. And if you could also comment, like, and share, because I do truly appreciate you spending time with me, that would be amazing. So, I know the thumbnail says 3 more layouts for the HappyNichi, and clearly this is not a HappyNichi, but I just did want to show you. This is the notebook that I had made that is in the classic size. And for the first layout, we're actually going to use this particular page right here. Now, this was in an accessory pack that I had found from Walmart, where it's green with lined and a bullet or the dot grid section here, and then it's this salmony pink with the lined and the bullet section or dot grid section on the back. And I'll tell you why I'm using this paper versus using something like this. Now, this first layout was inspired by Memories in Time, Kimberly Sparks' channel here on YouTube, where she had made her own octagon, hexagon, I think it was an octagon template. I think she said she had wanted to go for a hexagon, but it had turned into an octagon. Now, I know I think in either of the doodling sticker books that Happy Planner put out last December-ish, I believe, they have those big hexagons, but I don't have that. So I love that she shared how she had created hers, and she used dot grid paper. Now, she had made hers so that the top, bottom, and sides were 8 dots long, and then her slanted sides were 6. She did say she wanted it to all be the same size, but that's just how it worked out. For my purpose, I'm actually going to make it just an even 5 across. So I'm going to count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not going to use a ruler. I don't want this to be perfect. I'm going to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, no, that's 1 is here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That should be in the same spot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it just seems weird because even though they are 5 dots across, it seems like this slanted side is a lot bigger. And it might be because of math. But yeah, it seems smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and wait, 1, 2, 3 should end here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because those need to be lined up, and then that means this one can line up here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to put that there, and then go down these lines here. And again, doesn't need to be perfect. And that's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's an octagon. So I'm going to cut this out so that I have my shape. And again, this doesn't need to be perfect, although I do have the dots as a guide. Now, I think this size is perfect because I could make it a little bit bigger, but I think it would be perfect in a layout. So this is monthly overview. We've got that one. And I think if I'm doing 3 or 4 of these, I could stack it up. I could have them separate, and I still think it would fit. Now, like I said, the reason I chose this paper is because the white on the white, I mean, you can see the black outline, so that helps, but the white on the white might be kind of difficult. However, that is very easy to see. So I thought that would be useful because I plan to keep this as a template that I'm going to keep in my stash. But we're actually going to do one more trick before we actually make a layout with this. For that, and I don't know if you can see it, but I have, this was the belly band of a mini that I had. So I'm actually going to cut a piece of this off and use this because I want it to be a slick surface. And then I'm going to use some washi tape, and it doesn't matter what the color is, it just matters that it's washi tape. And I am going to cover it all. And you're probably thinking, well, okay, Johanna, how are you going to work with this then? You can't see what you're doing. But if it's gonna work out like I have in my mind, that will not be a problem because you can see it there. So yay, that actually worked out. So I'm going to cut this so that I make a plastic template of this, and again in just a minute you'll see why. And cut. And I think this is just useful because I can make, like I said, these bigger or smaller as I need to. And it is a little fussy, but I don't have those big boxes, and I've looked through all of my sticker books and I didn't see any that were large, because there's little ones, but that doesn't really help me if I want to use this for a weekly spread. So I will keep that as is. And again, if I wanted to just use this as a template, I could certainly just lay this down and then just trace around it. And I don't know how well this is going to come out because of course I didn't do any testers, but we're going to test out something that I'm hoping will turn out nicely. So this is, I need to keep track of what day it is. All right, so this is on the back side of the modified vertical layout that I had did for this week. So we're going to do this week here. And so this will be the 17th through the 23rd. And this is Monday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday here. Now what I intend to do, and again, this is a work in progress because I don't know that it'll actually work, but we're gonna cross our fingers, is going to tape at the top. And let's use gray. Gray's pretty neutral. And I'm going to color the plastic side of my template. Because I want the ink on there. And then I just have some paper towel that I've ripped up. I'm going to drag this so that it gives me some color. Sorry for the shadow. We'll do that some more. And we'll just drag it out. And it's going to give us a little bit of a sunburst effect, a little bit of color. And then because there is some ink on there, you can also rub that into the page as well. And then well no, let me trace this. And then when we take it up, we have a little sunburst effect. Now, I like the idea of it. I'm not sure if my execution is not that good or if I just need to do the rest and see how that works. But let's do one more here on camera. And then I'll do the rest off camera. I do want to make sure this is lined up. I think we're going to just keep it as gray. When I get to this week, because this is quite a few weeks in advance, I might use my farmhouse or my wellness sticker book, because I think that would fit in this color palette. Actually, for just a minute. And I don't want to get ink anywhere else but here. And that one didn't work as nicely. Again, tracing around, and the openness at the top, I will show you what I plan to do with that. So this will be Monday. Tuesday. Not sure how I feel about it, but let me finish the rest of the days and I'll bring you back. And I actually hope this all fits. All right, guys, so I think once I put down some stickers, then I think it'll look a little bit nicer. Perhaps it was the color choice that I chose, maybe something more colorful. And if I do this in the future, and I think I will, I might wait to do this when I know what my color scheme is going to be, because I am pre-doing this for a spread in in June. So, you know, I'm not even going to be using this week or next week. This is going to be sometime in the future. And Sunday. I think it looks nice, and I might need to rethink, because it could be that the paper towel is soaking up all the ink. So I might need to think of something else in order to spread it out. But that was spread number 1 of this video, where we made our own octagon, and then we did sort of a color burst kind of thing. And then let me put this back on here. So I know that's the week that this is supposed to be. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Again, I think I might have used a different color, or I should use a different color in the future, but my thought process was this was the most neutral, so I can always zhuzh it up later. So there's that, and there's that one. So I'm going to use this, and this was the back sheet of the Happy Note notebook that I purchased, and I do have a video for that. I will link that below. But what I was thinking is, if you don't have the Happy Planner stencil, or if you don't have just a stencil on hand, this is the one that I picked up from Amazon, and if you're interested, I'll link it below. You can make your own, and it's easy enough to do, at least in my head. And I know I say that a lot, but I think of these things, I'm like, you know, this should work. I'm hoping it's going to work. So we're going to take a classic size full box, and we're going to just stick it down. And the reason I kept this is because Erin from Oh My Goals actually repurposed the artwork, and she put it on her cash envelopes, and so I plan to do the same. But in the meantime, I'm going to use this because it is a bit sturdy, so you know, certainly don't want to waste it. And I'm just going to cut around. And that way I'm only sacrificing just the one sticker, but I will have a full box template that saves me from having to count, but also that I can reuse. And if I didn't have that little piece, then I could use some scrapbooking paper. I could use scrap file folder. I mean, I could just use any kind of scrap. I just want to make sure it's a little bit sturdy, but I also just want something to stick the sticker on. And so for this layout, let's see. Let's try to do something crooked. I might hate it, but that's not going to be a problem I need to deal with until that week. So yeah, let's just annoy future Johanna, shall we? All right, so I'm not tracing around the entire thing, just doing just some lines, and then I can stagger. And so you have the perfection-ish of the original line, but the handmade-ness of the staggered line. I'm not mad at it. All right, so again, we will draw our template. And we'll just add a little pop. And as I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, because I'm filming this, it does seem a little bit more awkward because I can't bring it very close to me, but that's okay. Again, this definitely is giving me bullet journal vibes, and I super love that. Now, this may not be something you want to do all the time. And if you're not doing a video for it and you're just doing it, you can bang these out pretty quickly, I would imagine. Or you can just do it on a week-to-week basis. But because I am trying to give you some ideas of some layouts that you can do, that's why, one, it seems to take longer than it necessarily should, but also that it just seems a little bit awkward. And then, because I do have this little bit of a gap, I could either use my Paper Mate Ultra Fine, or I could use my mild liners. Either tip would work, and then color that in. So I could color it rainbow colored. I could do it all monochromatic. It just really depends on what my spread's going to be for that week. So we'll do this week here, and I'll actually finish this up off camera, and then I will bring you back when I'm done. All right, so that's it for this spread. I'm not going to draw in the days of the week because I might want to do that with a sticker or a label, or I might have an idea, so yeah. And for this, you could have drawn the entire outline. You could have done something like this where I left a gap. I mean, again, once you have the template, you can be as creative or as decorative or as over the top as you want to be. But I do have my days of the week there. So I haven't mapped out July yet, but this would be the end of June. This would be the cover page. This would be the monthly overview and the goals page. So this would be the first actual week in July. So let me get a Post-it note. And let me map this out. So this is the July cover page. And July monthly overview and goals. This is 7-1 through 7-7. Don't know why these don't seem to want to come apart. Seven, 8 through 7-14, 7-15 through 7-21, 7-22 through 7-28. And that's my birthday week. Happy birthday to me. So the reason why I wanted to do that is because I want to do the layout for July. Now, I don't know that in the future, once I run out of ideas that I want to share, or just run out of ideas, that I'll be planning so far in the future. Although, on one hand, I do like having the spread waiting for me, but on the other hand, I may not necessarily want to do this spread or this layout, but you know, whatever. Now, I said originally that I was going to come back to the hexagon, but I think I will, and it's actually a good spread to do this on, because if it doesn't come out the way that I want it to, I haven't done anything on any of the other pages, so I can replace it. And what I want to try is circles, but I'm not going to make a template for it. I'm just going to freehand it. Now, I watch a lot of videos, and you may have heard me say that. And Cindy here on YouTube, and she is Llama Letters on Pinterest and Instagram. I don't want to mangle her last name, so I'm just going to call her Cindy, but I'll link her below. She does where she does circles. Now, that's not a lot of room, but that's okay. I can still put a list in there. But she says, okay, freehanding circles can be difficult. However, if you are intentionally messy, not intentionally, but if you are intentionally not trying to be perfect, then you can make it look purposefully messy. Does that make sense? Because again, now that looks more decoratively messy than just me not being able to do a circle. And so again, I'm going to go in and out, not trying to do a perfect circle, but I actually do want you to be able to see the distinct lines. Not going to measure it, so it would not surprise me if these do not come out the same size. And I might hate this. When I get to this week in my planner, I might just want to kick me in the face. But as I've mentioned, that's for that week's problem of Johanna. That is not my current problem. And then do the third. And this might actually, it could look also interesting if you didn't put them separate, but if you kind of staggered them together. And let's do that on this page and see how that changes the dynamic. So that's Friday. Yeah, I don't know that I like that. That's Saturday, and let's just continue. Sunday. I like the size of this. I like that they're all separate, but then you can actually go in and make these into wreaths like they have in the farmhouse or the planning essentials. And again, there is still enough space that if I wanted to, or not if I wanted to, I will need to plan in this. I will be able to do so. Alright guys, I will finish up these flowers here on camera. Now because this is 4th of July week, that's why I put the red and blue flowers here. Again, we are not looking for staying in the lines and being perfect. I think it actually looks really nice that it is sort of just very organic and very free because none of the flowers match. These things kind of look like teeth, but that's okay. I'm actually going to leave this. I will be working with this the week of July 1st, so you will definitely see this again. Really, the whole purpose of this video and all of the videos like this, because this is the third one I've done where I'm giving you ideas on how to do layouts, is if you're like me, and you watch a ton of YouTube videos and you watch or you see lots of beautiful spreads on Instagram, the perfection of them sometimes can be intimidating, or it can be not daunting, but it, if you don't have the things to make all of the beautiful spreads, especially with those hexagons, then you may want to be able to recreate it, but you don't know how. So I'm hoping that this gives you some ideas on things that you can do in your own HappyNichi if you didn't want to just stay with the HappyNichi layout. So we did the freehand circles. We did do this, and I don't know why, but this is totally giving me 80s vibes. We did do these rectangle boxes with the template that we made, and then we did this sunburst kind of hexagon action, again, with the template that we made. And thank you so much, Kimberly, from Memories of Time, for putting that video up. And again, I will link her below. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is, like I said, the reason why I made or put this here is so I can store all of my templates in a very easy place, because if I change out the cover, that's the reason why I put this on Velcro, because then, I have so much Velcro dots because of my cash envelopes that I can just keep moving this forward to the next cover that I make. All right, guys, that is it for me. And as always, aloha.